Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Moon Sori, MC of the 10th Information Security Day celebration and International Conference on Information Security. This was scheduled to be hybrid, but unfortunately, due to the sudden surge of COVID-19, this event is going to be held online. But we can still meet many people online, and also through Zoom, you can listen to the presentations simultaneously. And keynote speeches will be presented from 1 p.m. And from 2 p.m., the 10th Information Security Day celebration will be held. And from 3:30, the conference will start. And many ideas will be shared in the conference. And the celebration and conference will be joined online. And also, we prepared giveaway events. So I ask you to participate in this event online. We will meet the first speaker from CISA, Eric Goldstein. Let me introduce Eric Goldstein, Executive Assistant Director for Cybersecurity at CISA. We will meet him in video.
Thank you for that kind introduction and for inviting me to attend today's event. While I wish I could be there in person with all of you, I'm thankful that technology has allowed me to celebrate the 10th annual Day of Information Security with all of you from here in Washington, D.C. My name is Eric Goldstein, and I serve as the Executive Assistant Director for Cybersecurity at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or what many of you may know as CISA, which is an agency within the United States Department of Homeland Security. Before I begin, I first and foremost would like to thank the Republic of Korea for not only hosting today's event, but also for shedding light on an increasingly important issue, digital security. While the Day of Information Security is your national campaign, it embodies values that we not only have within CISA, but also lessons that should be extended throughout the globe, as cybersecurity is an inherently international mission that requires nations to work across borders. I also want to thank the Republic of Korea for your continued partnership. Our two countries' exceptional and unique ties are no more evident than in our joint commitment to fight against what is one of the greatest threats to our global community, malicious cyber activity. While discussing cyber issues can be extensive and varied, it is imperative that we continue to discuss cybersecurity within the context of foreign policy. Cyberspace threats are not bound by national borders. Our networks and the critical infrastructure they support are integrated into a larger global cyber ecosystem. Over the past several years, the nature of this threat has evolved and is now more complicated and asymmetric than before. Infrastructure, the systems that enable our way of life, such as water, transportation, and electricity, continues to be a target of interest from a diverse group of malicious actors, including nation-states and criminal groups, as well as terrorist groups and others with their own motivations, who can initiate attacks from anywhere in the world. As all of you have seen this evolving threat environment firsthand, and it has been quite a year for cybersecurity. First, we witnessed cyber criminals seize on the pandemic as an opportunity to deliver malicious software, steal data, disrupt organizational operations, and target vaccine developers and supply chains. As many of our countries enforced social distancing and shifted to a remote work environment, this also resulted in an expanded attack surface, forcing companies across the globe to rethink their business strategies and kickstart an accelerated digital transformation for many organizations. In the United States, we worked across all levels of government and industry in a whole-of-nation effort to successfully protect the 2020 U.S. presidential election, and the lessons learned continue to drive improvements in information sharing, communications, and incident response within our country as well as our international partners. In December, our nation was alerted to a cyber espionage campaign that was likely ongoing since December 2019, commonly referred to as the SolarWinds cyber incident. The US government formally attributed this cyber supply chain compromise to the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service actors. This compromise has targeted not only US government networks, but also industry networks. In March, we were alerted to another widespread cybersecurity campaign, this time in which cyber actors targeted one of the most widely used business applications, Microsoft Server Exchange. A month later, we were alerted to another significant exploitation, this time affecting Pulse Connect secure products, which really goes back to the consequences brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, including the use of virtual private networks, which enable our remote work, our remote education, and continue to be high on the list for exploitation by malicious cyber actors. And just in the last month or so, Americans experienced the real-world consequences of the ransomware epidemic as malicious cyber actors targeted a fuel pipeline, resulting in outage of part of our infrastructure on a regional level, as well as targeting a meat production plant, causing a potential shortage in our food supply chain. Ransomware is an important threat to take into account because these types of attacks are hitting entities across the globe. Ransomware incidents can severely impact business processes and leave organizations without the data they need to operate and deliver mission-critical services. It is an epidemic affecting cities, hospitals, schools, manufacturing plants, and other targets across critical infrastructure. Malicious cyber actors are going after these victims because they have both the means and, most importantly, the incentive to pay in too many cases. Distinct threat actor groups that engage in ransomware attacks appear to be collaborating more closely with their peers in the criminal underground, behaving more like cybercrime cartels in many cases than independent groups. Ransomware attacks that previously took days or weeks now only require hours to complete in many cases. While these threats are undoubtedly significant, looking ahead, we believe that through collective defense and resilience, we can dramatically decrease the number and impact of ransomware attacks. Given this rising threat, the United States government is looking to better coordinate protection efforts that anticipate and counter criminal groups' tactics, techniques, and procedures to help prevent ransomware attacks from reaching their intended targets. This will ensure our nation and the global community address criminal campaigns as a whole rather than individual incidents. At CISA, we are accomplishing this by focusing on hardening targets, making our systems more secure and resilient, and more difficult for cyber actors to penetrate. CISA's counter-ransomware initiatives, like most of our work, are designed to both defend today and secure tomorrow. That means working collaboratively with our partners across government, industry, and the international community to enhance the security of infrastructure against today's threats and shape the strategic environment over the long term. We are doing so in a number of ways. For example, we share alerts on new ransomware campaigns, like we did late last year when we had credible information on a threat to hospitals, which would have had devastating impacts during the COVID-19 pandemic. We also provide best practices on how to prepare and respond to ransomware incidents. I encourage everyone to utilize CISA's resources to reduce your organization's risk to ransomware. These resources can be found at cisa.gov/ransomware. Beyond sharing alerts and best practices, we are raising awareness of the threat and what everyone can do, such as our recently launched outreach campaign to reduce the risk of ransomware. The US government highly discourages the payment of ransom, largely because such payments are funding a criminal who may or may not return data and also encourages cybercriminals to attack more victims. Over the longer term, we want to see what more we can do to evolve our collective capabilities to block emerging types of ransomware and foster the market for scalable protective innovations. None of this is easy, and unfortunately, if the business model remains viable, we will be challenged to drive a significant reduction in activity from ransomware actors. Until then, we need to do everything we can to reduce the likelihood that such actors are successful. And we are not the only country looking at this issue, so I'm looking forward to discussing ways we can collectively reduce this global threat with you further. Now that we've done a recap on the threat landscape and know what we're up against, we also know that we will need to take bold action to transform not only United States cybersecurity posture, but the global cybersecurity environment. Within the United States, that is where my agency, CISA, comes into play. CISA is dedicated to defending against the urgent threats and hazards facing our networks, as well as collaboratively planning to strengthen our digital infrastructure in the long run. As you may have heard earlier, our simple slogan is that we defend today and secure tomorrow. And we accomplish this goal through collaborative risk reduction. You can think of CISA as the nation's risk advisor. We help a wide variety of stakeholders address national level risk in cybersecurity, physical security, emergency communications, and emerging and hybrid threats. We say the word advisor very specifically, because the private sector owns and operates the vast majority of critical infrastructure in the United States. We are therefore here to help critical infrastructure owners and operators understand the risks that they are facing. And we do this in several ways, all tied to the central theme of collaborative risk management. First, we assess and identify risks through information sharing, assessments, scanning, and other proactive services. Second, we prioritize the top risks to the country and collaboratively work with our partners to identify remediation steps. And finally, we provide a number of services to help address risks that may manifest. These vary from consultative services and training to intrusion protection systems within our federal government networks. CISA is also working with our partners to build capacity and drive change in the long term. The theory is simple. If we can identify and prioritize medium and long-term risks, then we can focus on them to ensure they are addressed. This also requires collaborative planning with our government and industry partners to identify long-term common outcomes, like recommended security measures or capability maturity levels. CISA also seeks to make long-term change in the broader ecosystem. For example, how can we make network devices more secure out of the box? How can we ensure that there will be the right cybersecurity workforce a decade from now? What innovations do we need to really change the cybersecurity paradigm? How can we reduce the risk of ransomware for all organizations? All using the same model of collaborative risk management. While CISA is focused on the security of our nation's critical infrastructure, we know that cybersecurity is an inherently international mission that requires our nations to work across borders to share information about threats emanating from other countries' territory. CISA maintains a very close relationship with our international partners through a range of cybersecurity initiatives. We collaborate regularly with partnering nations on cybersecurity topics of mutual concern, whether it be exchanging operational information to enable mitigation of significant threats or working to align policy approaches on high priority topics. In addition, CISA frequently participates in bilateral and multilateral cyber exercises with partnering nations to evaluate security defenses, test new procedures, and as a mechanism for identifying evolving threats and new defensive tactics. We have found these partnerships and our international engagement vital in strengthening the cyber ecosystem and securing critical infrastructure. That's why, in February, CISA released its first ever international strategy, known as CISA Global. If you're not familiar with it, I encourage you to visit our site at cisa.gov/global for more information on the launch of our global initiative. Our CISA Global strategy outlines how we will work with international partners to strengthen the security of our global cyber ecosystem, increase the resiliency of critical infrastructure, and address urgent threats and manage risks that are critical to both U.S. and global interests. The strategy also emphasizes CISA's international vision and commits our agency to 4 goals. First, advance operational collaboration with international partners. Second, build international partner capacity. Third, strengthen collaboration with international partners through stakeholder engagement and outreach. And fourth, shape the global policy ecosystem. On operational cooperation, that's really about increasing our situational awareness to be able to better assess and counter evolving risks. We want to work with international partners to advance our collective abilities to maintain continuous situational awareness of physical and cyber incidents and emergency communications issues. This work contributes to a collaborative global environment where we and our partners learn from each other to better understand emerging risks and effective defenses. As part of this, we want to identify concerns and threats that may impact critical infrastructure in order to facilitate an expedited response and mitigate negative consequences. I think building international partner capacity is rather self-explanatory, but CISA wants to continue to help increase the capabilities and awareness of international partners in the cyber and critical infrastructure realms. For this, we want to liaise with and support international partners in developing their own capacity to effectively detect threats, assess impact, and take appropriate response actions to mitigate risks that enable cooperation with and increase benefits for CISA's security mission. And part of building capacity is strengthening collaboration. It's also about building relationships. We want to continue to strengthen collaboration with foreign counterparts to enable a common understanding of threats and hazards through information sharing and increased preparedness for the shared responsibility of protecting vital infrastructure and information systems. And finally, we want to help shape a global policy environment that supports U.S. priorities and enables our future collective security. We want to develop international norms and best practices that strengthen cybersecurity, fortify critical infrastructure and resilience, improve communications, and enhance resiliency while mitigating risks. The United States, and indeed the world, is safest with a secure, open, interoperable, and reliable information infrastructure. CISA is committed to doing our part to make this vision a reality. We want to ensure that network defenders and risk managers can work together to prevent and mitigate threats to critical infrastructure. Candidly, the more cyber-secure other countries are, the safer the United States will be. We want to work together to prevent malicious actors from having any attack surface to penetrate. This means shoring up vulnerabilities globally, and we've seen malicious actors use other countries as a testing ground or a launching point for attacks that are ultimately destined for the United States. Working with international partners, we can spot these activities and learn from them. This helps improve the security and resilience of infrastructure that spans the globe and supports our cities and our communities. These engagements and exchanges not only help the country in question defend itself, but to strengthen our nations and our global defenses as well. As we look ahead, we know that our adversaries will continue to try to exploit vulnerabilities, utilize ransomware as a threat tactic, and target critical infrastructure. That being said, it is imperative that we collectively come together and renew our efforts to encourage responsible behavior and oppose those who would seek to disrupt our collective security. The United States government is committed to collaborating with our allies to strengthen the security of our global digital infrastructure. Only by reaching across traditional boundaries and continuing to adapt to meet new challenges will we be able to adopt a common strategy and unify our collective defense. Thank you again for inviting me to participate in Information Security Day celebrations. I am eager to continue the discussion on how we can work better together to defend our global cyber ecosystem with all of you further. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your message. He talked about cybersecurity, and he's executive assistant director of CISA, and he showed the importance of global collaboration for internet security. With global partners, we have to be prepared for cyber attacks. I ask for your interest for this. Eric Goldstein, thank you once again for your message. The second keynote speaker is Yu Jae-chul, head of Korea Institute of Information Security and Cryptology. The theme is Recommendation for the Era of Global Cybersecurity. Please welcome him. Good afternoon. I'm Yu Jae-chul, President of Korea Institute of Information Security and Cryptology. Today, I'm going to provide some recommendations for the era of global cybersecurity. We are celebrating the 10th Information Security Day, and for the last 10 years, this event has been quite outstanding. And today, I would like to suggest how this event should evolve in the future, in the era of global cybersecurity. This is Jerome Powell, chair of the Federal Reserve. He said some time ago, the world changes, the world evolves, the risk changes as well. And I would say the risk that we keep our eyes on the most is cybersecurity, cyber risk. Everyone will agree on this. In all areas, including financial sectors, cyber risk is recognized as the most important issue. One example is SolarWinds cyber attack that was disclosed last December. Hackers secretly broke into SolarWinds system and added malicious code into the company's software. It affected top 500 companies in the US. The federal government organizations, including Homeland Security, was affected. Universities, including Iowa State University, and Intel, Cisco, NVIDIA, VMware, IT companies, and FireEye security companies were affected by this ransomware infection. What surprised people most was the fact that this attack was prepared from long time ago. Actually, this was prepared from September 2019. Attackers first accessed SolarWinds in 2019. The hackers spied on the company's organizations for more than 1 year until last December, when this was detected. And the CEO of SolarWinds said, the sophistication of the state-backed hacking group made it difficult to identify the attacker. As a force behind this, we are talking about APT-29. Some people believe it is a hacking group supported by the Russian government. Attacks carried out by highly trained hackers supported by the government were too difficult to detect. So the CEO didn't fire the CSO of SolarWinds. This was an attack that was obviously difficult to detect, so he let the CSO continue his work. It really indicates that the cyber attacks supported by states are highly sophisticated, and it's quite difficult to defend against the attacks. One more example. Cyber attack to the Colonial Pipeline that has led to temporary shortages of gasoline, which actually panicked many people in the United States. The colonial pipeline was attacked by ransomware. While this ransomware used to be centered on individuals or private companies in the past, but now it is targeting nations or critical infrastructure. So, as ransomware becomes more sophisticated, the threat has reached a significant level. And we need to respond properly to such a sophisticated attacks. One more surprising incident happened to us. This is PRISM project disclosed by Snowden in 2013. It spied on many organizations around the world. This spying activity was mainly targeting Middle Eastern countries, and a lot of wiretapping was also done in the United States. Another recently revealed fact is that US NSA has partnered with Danish intelligence agency to continuously wiretap prominent European politicians. In other words, even after Snowden's disclosure, the spying activity continued until 2014. Many people were surprised to learn that our ally, the US, is also conducting such activity. So, Microsoft has said it's not easy to prevent various cyber threats as state-led cyber attacks are backed by cutting-edge technology and sufficient funds. So it's something everyone can imagine. When the best hackers armed with the best technology attack, it's not easy to stop them. If you look a little more closely at what Microsoft announced in September last year, it is said that information was collected from all over the world through various sensors based on Windows. With the information, they made an analysis through AI, and they found out several interesting facts when it comes to country of activity origin for NSNs. Russia took the first position, followed by Iran, China, and North Korea, and other. Russia was reported as a country with most active hacking activities. And when we look at which countries are being hacked the most of hacking activities were targeting the US, followed by UK, Canada, and South Korea. 4% of the attacks were targeting South Korea. Microsoft manages risk of hackers by classifying them with chemical symbols. As you can see from the slide, there are 3 Russian hacker groups, 2 North Korean hacker groups, 1 South Korean group, 5 groups in China, 3 in Iran. The APT-29, which hacked SolarWinds, is being managed with the symbol of yttrium. This includes their major targets. And North Korea's hacking group, known as Kimski, is being managed with symbol of thallium. Another hacking group, known as Lazarus, is classified as chemical symbol of zinc. I was also surprised by the existence of South Korean hacking group called Dark Hotel. And Russia's Strontium is the most active one, targeting Microsoft customers, and groups from Iran, China, North Korea were included in the top 5 nation-state activity groups. There is an indicator that introduced the state-led cyber hackers at RSA conference held this year. Let me introduce it by extracting an excerpt from a newsletter called The Milk. In the case of China, the Chinese army recently started to be involved in hacking, and it is concentrating on hacking mobile devices. It is mainly used to achieve political goals. Russia is experiencing an increasing number of attacks on critical infrastructure of its state operations. Hacking is sometimes done with the aim of paralyzing national facilities or creating public anxiety. And it is saying Iran interfered in the US presidential election. It launched an email campaign to target voters. In the case of North Korea, it is introduced as a group that researches the most innovative hacking methods. It hacks for financial gains as well as political goals. It is also the pioneer in supply chain attacks. It often targets cryptocurrency exchanges. In the midst of many attacks by hacking groups, Gartner announced in June this year how to prepare for cyber warfare. It mentioned 3 things. One is nation-states will increasingly target the private sector. In other words, attacks that mainly targeted public institutions are now attacking the private sector as well. Second, there is potential for physical damage and loss of life. So damage not just in cyberspace, but also in physical space. Third, like the case of Huawei, large enterprises are pulled into a nation-level cyber conflict. Some time ago, Tesla's stock plummeted because China said they will not use Tesla in public institutions. Information on China is being collected by Tesla's various sensors and transferred to the US. That's why they boycotted Tesla in their public institutions. Likewise, the companies can now be pulled into national-level cyber conflict. Likewise, cybersecurity is emerging as an increasingly important issue during the cyber warfare for hegemony between the US and China. This is why humanity needs to create a norm for peace again 100 years after the end of the Second World War. And it is saying that cyber weapons are a potential warfare tools. So we need to take some measures to prevent the potential war. We need new norms to prevent wars in cyberspace that can lead to a big disaster. So in November 2018, the Paris Call for Trust and Stability in Cyberspace was issued. Several organizations from 79 countries are currently participating in this call, but the US, China, Russian government agencies are not participating in. Although private organizations have participated, the government is not participating in these efforts, so which is lacking something. Under this call, participating parties are discussing new international treaty on the cyber weapons and standard for the internet use. They are making efforts for new cyber norms, but without participation from the US, China, Russia, global consensus is lacking. So we need to take the lead in suggesting new alternatives. I believe Korea should take the initiative in encouraging the US, China, and Russia to join these efforts. Korea needs to take the leading role in these efforts. So let's briefly talk about the current situation in Korea. If you look here, EGA releases an index for public institutions around the world every year. In terms of the National Cybersecurity Index, Korea was ranked 36th place, the 36th place out of 160 countries. And in terms of Global Cybersecurity Index, Korea ranked 15th, but this year it has jumped to 4th place. A lot of people made efforts to gain this rating from 15th to 4th. To be honest, we should have been in the 4th place several years ago, but I think it was because our efforts were not well known to the world. On the other hand, we were ranked the second in the area of ICT development. So, in my view, cybersecurity is rated rather low compared to this ICT index. That's because our cybersecurity activities are not well known to the international community. We are making a lot of efforts to enhance cybersecurity. According to the government new plan, the government will invest more than 600 billion Korean won in this sector. I guess such efforts are not well known to the world yet. The Statue of Liberty reminds you of the US, and Eiffel Tower reminds you of France. Then what comes to your mind when you see RSA conference? This is the world's largest security conference held in San Francisco, USA, which more than 50,000 people attend every year. DEFCON Black Hat are cybersecurity events held in Las Vegas. CyCon is the NATO-accredited cyber defense conference. Hack in Paris, CanSec West, these are the latecomers, but they are quite well recognized. Then what about Korea? WISA, ISISC, these are international conferences organized by Korea Institute of Information Security and Cryptology. You will know about these conferences, but still many of the public do not know about these conferences. And also we have some conferences related with hacking, but not many people know about them. The 10th Information Security Day celebration and conference, also known mainly to people in the information security field, but this event is not known to many people all over the world. So we need some changes, and also our role has changed a bit. In other words, we are in the neutral zone between the US and China. I believe we can play an important role in cybersecurity working with the US, China, Russia, and other countries around the world to enhance cybersecurity. In addition, we have international level security technology. And there is a growing number of security professionals. Last October was the 30th anniversary of the establishment of our institute. These days, young professors and young scholars, they studied abroad and then they are working in this field, utilizing their expertise. As a member of the second generation of security professionals, many of them are global level experts. And South Korea is one of the countries that know best about North Korea. So we can contribute to promoting world peace since we have lots of information about North Korea. Then Korean government is providing great support for cybersecurity. In addition, the public has a very good security awareness. So in many ways, I believe there is no problem in our country holding international events. So I think it would be good to hold an international event like Paris Call for cybersecurity next year. I hope that this event will be widely known internationally so that it will become a starting point for the world's information security experts to gather together to create a new norm for cybersecurity. By doing so, I think we can make a great contribution to the world peace as we leap forward as a global leader in cybersecurity. I will end my presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Liu. He talked about various cyber attack measures, and many nations are affected by the cyber attacks. So in order to live in the era of cybersecurity, what we can do was his theme of the talk. And in this conference, what needs to be discussed, he also mentioned that. So after the end of this pandemic, I hope that this conference will continue and will be widely known internationally. Once again, thank you, Mr. Liu, for your speech. So we are now joining in this keynote speech session. The last keynote speaker is Park Cha-nam, CEO of Stellion. The theme of his speech is infiltration of internal network leveraging VPN net vulnerabilities. Now, then let us introduce him and let's meet him.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Park Cha-nam, CEO of the Stellion. Today, I will make a presentation on the internal intrusion through VPN vulnerability. And actually, I'm a virtual participant, so now I'm in the office of the Stellion, my company. It's like I feel like I have an interview with the online broadcasting stations. So anyhow, today I will make a presentation on internal intrusion through VPN vulnerability. So anyway, because of the COVID-19, I cannot physically participate. Sorry for that. And I made some presentation on this VPN vulnerability. So actually, there are many news media coverages on the VPN vulnerability. For example, if you look at the headline, you'll understand the risk. For example, the materials for the event participated by the president was released, VPN was penetrated, and Iran hackers utilized the VPN vulnerability to gain information. So it is a big issue in Korea. So today I prepare for this presentation. So this slide shows my introduction, and I will skip it. And now I wanted to introduce the company introduction. So before going into the details, I will introduce my company, Stellion, to prove we have the expertise in the field of the response to the VPN vulnerability. So I will ask you to listen to my presentation. You will understand why I present this kind of the topics based on what activities, and maybe you will understand the Australian and also the BPN. So I wanted to share the exact cases and cyber attack through the BPN in Korea and in the world. And then this schematic diagram is excerpted from the Wikipedia, so you are able to understand the connection of the VPN. So there are regional offices, and these regional offices are connected with the head office through the VPN. And this VPN is designed to increase the cyber security between head office and regional office. And about 10 years ago, I started to develop the VPN, and I realized that the VPN has a good advantages of connection in terms of the office work. And actually, I participated in the development of VPN. But back then, I didn't understand the vulnerability of the VPN. I just focused on the development of the VPN. But as I developed the VPN, I realized that the vulnerability of the VPN as time goes by. So I think that in the past, I was really welcome VPN from the cybersecurity perspective, but not now. And maybe you feel that the VPN is like a prepass, so that when you access the network from the external side, usually the firewall works. But if we use the VPN, maybe you think that you are able to access the network in a kind of the preface. But it's not true. And of course, the VPN solution has the cybersecurity patch itself. However, I think that VPN still have the problem, but compared to the general devices and general network, VPN is better in terms of the cybersecurity than the general connection. And there is a survey asking the cybersecurity issues to the people who work from home. So according to the foreign media, that maybe 40% of the companies reported seeing increased cyber attacks. And there are some scenarios of the VPN hacking. And scenario A, so the criminals attack the subcontractor of defense industry companies because its security is weak. So the criminals target the subcontractors and sending the malicious email. So they use the subcontractor to send the malicious email to the defense industry company. And finally, steal the VPN data. It's an actual case occurring in the world. And that's the case scenario A. And also, scenario B is the criminals target VPN data released into dark web. And I will put my focus on scenario C, and the criminals hack vulnerability of VPN itself, such as server and client data. So you can see that there are VPN client and VPN server. So can he assure that the VPN client and VPN server are safe? So if what will happen if the hackers attack VPN client and VPN server itself? Actually, VPN client and VPN server are used for higher cybersecurity, but if the criminals attack them, maybe they will be the vulnerability point. So as shown by this slide, the server and the client will become the vulnerability point. So there is some issues. So the actual cases that NSA had some problems, and then it was hacked by Occasion Group. So you can see that the VPN code encryption key was also released. And after that, of course, the VPN patch was released, but still about there are over 800,000 devices worldwide that were vulnerable to this VPN hack still. And also, as of 2020, more than 4 years later, around 60,000 devices remain vulnerable to this attack, even though we have a patch. So at first, I wanted to show the cases of the VPN server issue. In case of the Pulse Secure VPN, Orange Chai, the Taiwanese hacker, attacked Pulse Secure VPN. It is a very famous case in the world. So the Pulse Secure VPN is widely used by Twitter and Google and other global companies. And Orange Chai find the VPN server vulnerability, and he gave 1 month after he found this vulnerability, and then he wait for about 1 month, and he find the vulnerability again. So the hacker checked each company using this VPN to see if the patch was successful. However, even after the month, other companies like Twitter still didn't use the security patch. So it was penetrated again. So it is a 0-day. In 1 month ago, it's a 0-day attack. However, 1 month later, they had a patch, but they didn't use. So the Twitter was penetrated by 1-day attack, which already has a patch. And so the Twitter had some problems, and also some government agencies used this Pulse Secure product. But now more and more companies don't use this Pulse Secure solution. So I want to see this demonstration video how this VPN server can be hacked. And this one, Pulse Secure code. And the input the Pulse Secure server address, and automatically the value stored in server is released. And this authenticated value, with this authenticated value, the hackers have the privilege of the administrator. And as the administrator, the hacker go into the site. And the hacker enters the administrator page, and is able to see everything. And also the hacker is able to use the function of this administrator page and also force the user to a specific function. And also the hacker is able to see the list of the all name of the users and also created the calculator. So, and also, for example, the hackers force the users to utilize the calculator instead of sending the malicious code. And then the hacker access the VPN, and the users access this VPN. The calculator set by the hacker is implementing and configured automatically in the computer of the users. So this is the one example of the VPN server attack. And now I wanted to talk about attack on the VPN client. So actually, it's actual cases. And this slide shows the vulnerability of a VPN client used by the government agencies. And VPN client used in major infrastructures is very weak, including ActiveX. Basically, Stack Overflow is weak. In this case, security is not considered in security program. So, VPN client to configure malicious code in installed PC. So the ActiveX is configured and the users use the VPN. And also sometimes users is disillusioned to access the malicious site set by the hacker. And the hacker attacked the VPN client, and the personal PC is controlled by the hacker, and by doing so, the hacker is able to control the all client site. For example, if the user is access the malicious site set by the hacker, and the personal PC is infected, and the malicious code is configured in personal PC, and this malicious code is affecting the government agencies. So there is actual cases in the Unicorn VPN client. So the privileges of the malware are low level rather than administrator privileges. So additional attack is required to obtain administrator privileges to control the PC completely. To this end, hackers use the vulnerability of the VPN client installed on the PC. And this also is also the demonstration video. You are able to watch this demonstration video through the YouTube. But because of the time constraint, I'm honored to skip it. So anyhow, this VPN client is attacked by a hacker who wanted to have the privileges of the administrator, and the hackers is able to control the all internal network. So actually, there are quite many intrusion of the VPNs. And in conclusion, I wanted to share the several methods for VPN defense. Actually, there are quite many problems in VPN server and software itself, so regular update is required. And also, the users must think about if the security patch is safe or not. And also, some companies think that think that the additional attack, that means that we have to prepare for the additional attack under the scenario that internal intrusion is successful, like ransomware. So after ransomware is successful, what kind of the response is required? And also, we need to use the multi-factor authentication and network separation. So actually, I think that we need to prepare for this cyber attack from the perspective of the hackers. Sometimes, from the perspective of the hackers, this security measures is not good. So that's why I think that the security must be checked from the perspective of the hackers, and internal education is necessary to increase the awareness of the phishing and other security issues. So if you have more question, please contact me through the email. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bach, for your interesting speech. For safer cybersecurity world, you can play a big role. So Eric Goldstein and Mr. Yudet Chur and Mr. Park Chanam, thank you for your speech. Once again, thank you again. And now we will start the 10th Information Security Day celebration. I am Munsori. The second week of Wednesday, second week of July is Information Security Day. And in the wake of July 2009 cyber attacks, this day was established. And this DDoS attack paralyzed portal sites in Korea. After these events, Information Security Day was designated, and we are letting people know the importance of information security by commemorating this Information Security Day. Unfortunately, we are meeting you online, but it's a very good opportunity to think about the importance of information security online. Through K cyber security strategy, we are now making Korea better, safer society. In online condition, we would like to provide more safer place. So we are having this conference under this theme, Digital Safe Nation through K cyber security strategy. This is being held online, and you can also participate in this conference through the web page, and also you will see various programs from the website secuday.com Korea. You can join this site, and you will see this conference and celebration. And also you on Ministry of Science ICT YouTube channel, you can watch this celebration and conference. And also this event is organized by Ministry of Science ICT and Ministry of Interior Safety, National Intelligence Service. Now we will start the 10th Information Security Day celebration. In order to make better place in cyberspace, we are having this conference. This conference is being held online, and many people are watching this through YouTube channel. And you are also sending some messages. Mr. Yu Soo-won said he would like to provide support for this day. And congratulations on the opening of Information Security Day. Thank you very much for your congratulatory messages. And now we will start the celebration in earnest. President Moon Jae-in delivered congratulatory message in writing. Minister Im Hae-soo, Ministry of Science and ICT, will read the message.
I'll read the message of the President. Let me begin with the congratulations on the 10th anniversary of Information Security Day. Cybersecurity is the pillar supporting the digital environment and is directly related to the competitiveness. And I will extend my sincere gratitude to those who have improved cybersecurity to protect the information, and congratulations to the prize winners today. The Republic of Korea ranked 4th out of 194 countries in the Global Cybersecurity Index released in June by the International Telecommunication Union. This is an 11th place increase from 15th place 2 years ago. The cybersecurity industry has also grown significantly compared to the previous year. The sales and exports increased and employment also increased. The credit of such success is going to you who made efforts to foster a safe digital environment. We are fighting against various cyber attacks. Cyber threats are becoming more sophisticated by combining with the AI technology and big data. The Korean government is promoting K-cyber security to realize the world's best digitally safe nation. To this end, we will invest 670 billion won by 2023. Like K-quarantine, we will foster a safe and robust dispense system in the digital space. We will also support the development of the cybersecurity industry. We will nurture field-based experts and strengthen support for the growth of innovative companies. Transformation to untapped digital world is becoming a new breakthrough for the national economy. In a safe digital environment, we must protect all information of citizens, governments, and companies. The government will always support you to achieve these desirable results. Thank you. July 17, 2021, President of ROK, Moon Jae-in.
Thank you for delivering the message, President Moon and Minister Im Hae-soo. Thank you for delivering the message. And to congratulate this event, the National Assembly members sent us congratulatory messages. First of all, Lee Won-ik, Chair of National Assembly Science, Technology, Information, Broadcasting, Communication Committee, sent us the message. I am Chair of the National Assembly Science, Technology, Broadcasting, Communication Committee. Congratulations on the opening of Information Security Day celebration. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, we cannot meet face-to-face, but I will wholeheartedly support the conference. I am also grateful to Lim Hae-soo, Minister of Science ICT, and Chun Hae-chul, Minister of Interior Safety, and Park Ji-won from National Intelligence Service for hosting this event. In the advance of COVID-19, non-face-to-face society is accelerated. As our daily life moves to cyberspace, information security has become more important. The online and offline boundaries are getting blurred. Technology is the key. In order to strengthen the capabilities of information security, it's necessary to promote the related technology industries and human resources. It's necessary to build an information security ecosystem. Support for human mobility must be strengthened. I will do my best to help Korea stand tall as an information security powerhouse. I will make my best efforts to turn Internet powerhouse into an information security powerhouse. Once again, congratulations on hosting this event. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lee, for sending us this message. Next, Mr. Park Kwang-on, National Assembly member, will talk his congratulatory message. I am Park Kwang-on, member of Democratic Party of Korea. I would like to congratulate you on the opening of the 10th Information Security Day celebration. I would like to also express my gratitude to Im Hae-suk, Minister of Science and ICT, and all the related people involved. Moon Jae-in government established a national cybersecurity strategy for the first time in its history and has been working to strengthen cybersecurity system and also secure deterrence against cyber attacks. As a result, Korea ranked 4th out of 194 countries in the 4th International Information Security Index. The interests and investment in science and ICT from the Democratic Party governments have turned Korea into a global digital powerhouse. We will continue our efforts to create a safe, reliable cyber world for all citizens. Once again, congratulations to the 10th Information Security Day. I wish you all good health and happiness. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Park Kwang-on. Next, Yang Jung-suk, National Assembly member, will send us the message.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Yang Jung-suk, member of the National Assembly. First of all, I extend congratulations on the Information Security Day. My sincere gratitude goes to Im Hae-suk, the Minister of Science and ICT, Jeon Hae-chul, the Minister of Interior and Safety, Park Ji-won, Director of NIS, Lee Won-taek, President of KISA, Lee Dong-bum, Chairman of the KISIA, and others. Thank you for your efforts. And I'm really grateful to keynote speakers Eric Goldstein, Executive Assistant Director of CISA, Yoo Jae-chul, President of KISC, and Park Cha-nam, CEO of the Stellion. I wish I could participate in person, but because of the COVID-19, I like to send my message as a virtual participant. Currently, international community faces the fourth industrial revolution that information is asset and achieve rapid growth. COVID-19 accelerates the trend of untapped society, and in 2020, the value of the e-commerce market was about 154 trillion won, proving the growth of contactless economy. Economy is increasing dependent on ICT. However, high dependence on ICT creates another concern that malicious criminals like hackers attack to gain money. In case of the Korean hydro and nuclear power, hackers tried to attack nuclear power plants 1,400 times for the last decade, showing cyber threats continue to grow. Recently, Korea Atomic Energy Research Institute and the Korea aerospace industries were attacked by black hackers, proving we are not safe in cyber threats. Especially in USA, in May, about 8,800 kilometer pipeline was attacked by a ransomware of a Russian hacking group. It was out of order for about 6 days, disturbing the supply chain and skyrocketing the oil price. Cyber threat, the type and scale of attack goes beyond our imagination. It may be riskier than nuclear weapon, requiring more sophisticated response. In Korea, MSIT, NIA, and KISA are responsible cybersecurity individually, reducing the effectiveness of response. In May, Park Byung-seok, the Speaker of the National Assembly, and I visited the Republic of Czech, and I discussed with the Czech Cybersecurity Agency and understood its integrated system. Cyber threats are targeting the public and private sector, so unified control tower is required to make a swift response to a cyber attack. I hope today's conference is the venue to share technology and information on cybersecurity and emerging threats and find out desirable solutions. As a member of the National Assembly, I will do my best to develop an effective policy for cybersecurity. I hope you will be safe and healthy for the period of COVID-19. Take care of yourself with your family. Thank you.
Thank you for your great support, Ms. Yang Jung-soo. Thank you very much. And next, National Assembly member Lee Young has sent us congratulatory message. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lee Young, member of People Power Party. I would like to congratulate you on the opening of the 10th Information Security Day celebration. I would like to thank related officials in many ministries and also CISA for hosting and organizing such a meaningful event. I would like to congratulate the 10 awardees who made efforts to promote information security in Korea. Technology is rapidly evolving amid the fourth industrial revolution. A hyper-connected society has established. Therefore, cyber threats are increasingly remarkable. Accordingly, information security capabilities and cyber crisis response capabilities are paramount importance. Korea ranked fourth in the world in terms of the International Information Security Index, demonstrating Korea's cybersecurity capabilities, and it is conducting mock cyber threat training every year. In addition, we are striving to protect information by responding to cyber crisis at the national level. In particular, I know that 670 billion won will be invested by 2028 under the key cybersecurity strategy. The taxes from the public should be invested in the areas that are essential for the development of information security. In a future where everything is connected through information system, the success or failure of the companies and countries will be important. And this conference will serve as an opportunity to remind ourselves of the importance of the information security. Thank you once again to many people who worked hard at the forefront of the information security sector. I will work hard on the legislative activities. I will do my best to provide full support for you. Thank you for your congratulatory speech. Mr. Jung Hee-yong also sent us some congratulatory message. Many people are congratulating us. I feel your passion and enthusiasm. And also through YouTube, many people are sending us the congratulatory messages. And the importance of the information security is once again demonstrated. And people are saying that we are commemorating the 10th anniversary of this day, and congratulatory messages are being delivered to us right now through online. And now let us watch a promotional video to commemorate the 10th Information Security Day. This video contains the message that efforts for information security in our daily life are also important. Then let's watch the video clip.
당신의 인생이 바뀔 수 있는 3분.
3 minutes that can change your life. What can you do for 3 minutes? For 3 minutes, I can finish my eyelash makeup. I can stop by the convenience store to choose a drink, change into company uniform. It's not sufficient to cook instant noodle. Maybe I can change my baby's diaper. time for internet shopping, time for waiting for elevator, time for a song on the way to work, time for a cup of coffee. 3 minutes in our daily life. However, for 3 minutes, something precious can be taken away without even knowing it. Another 3 minutes passing by without any sound, and notice non-face-to-face society, emergence of new types of security threats. Anyone is exposed to cyber threats anytime, anywhere. Interest and practice in information security is no longer an option for a necessity. How should we spend 3 minutes to practice information security? We should make it a habit to practice information security in our daily lives. Click carefully. Do not click on unverified links. Change your password diligently and regularly. Always back up your valuable data. Protect it from ransomware hacking. Virus scan should be done regularly in advance. You should automatically update your software to keep it up to date. Three minutes is short, but important. It's not difficult to protect yourself from the threat of data breach. 3 minutes that can be passed on unconsciously or that can be cherished. Small habits that you can follow in your daily life can protect your valuable information. The public's interest in information security and practice in daily life are the first step toward making Korea a safe digital nation. How was it? 3 minutes? What does it mean to you? It's a short time, but it's quite important because your valuable information can be stolen in 3 minutes, which might lead to a major security accident. It was quite meaningful video to show how to act against information security threats in our daily lives and how to properly follow the rules of practice for information security. Then in the midst non-face-to-face era, it's more important to protect information security. To commemorate this day, we will conduct the ceremony. So the public, academia, and industry will join together for safe digital nation. They will show their commitment toward safer place. Im Hae-suk, Minister of Science ICT, on behalf of the government, and on behalf of Information Academia, Ryu Jae-chul, Korea Institute of Information Security Cryptology, is joined. On behalf of industry, Lee Dong-bum of Korea Information Security Industry Association are participating together. Now we will start the ceremony. They will show the message card, which is showing their promise toward safer place in digital world. Please raise your card. We will work together toward information security. Yeah, I will also do my best for information security as a member of the public. Thank you all for your participation. Ms. Lim and Mr. Liu and Mr. Lee, and also the public, thank you for your participation. Once again, give us big round of applause. Thank you. Through the ceremony, we were able to see our commitment for information security. Now, we will proceed with the Information Security Merit Award ceremony. The ceremony was held safely in compliance with quarantine regulations at the building of the Ministry of Science and ICT. Let's meet them from Sejong City.
From now on, we'll proceed with the Information Security Award ceremony. At first, Order of Merit is awarded, followed by Medal of Merit, President citation, and Prime Minister citation. The Vice Minister of Science and ICT will offer the prizes. First, Order of Merit and Medal of Merit. So if I name the award, please come forward. Order of Merit, the prize winner is Yoo Jun-sang, President of Korea Information Technology Research Institute. Medal of Merit goes to Park Sang-woo, Senior Researcher of National Security Research Institute. Thank you. So first, Order of Merit, congratulations. Order of Merit, Yoo Jun-sang, President of KITRI. You have greatly contributed to the development of the national society by performing your duties, so I will give this Order of Merit according to the Constitution of the Republic of Korea. July 14, 2021, President of ROK, Moon Jae-in. Congratulations. Congratulations. He has contributed to establishment of a public-private information security network and made a great contribution to nurturing cybersecurity experts. Take a photo together. Congratulations. And then he made a significant contribution to nurturing cybersecurity experts. Congratulations again. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. And next, Medal of Merit. Medal of Merit. Park Sang-woo, Senior Researcher of NSRI. You have greatly contributed to the development of a national society by strengthening information security. I will give this Medal of Merit according to the Constitution of ROK. July 14, 2021, President of ROK, Moon Jae-in. Congratulations. He has made a great contribution to the development of information security technology in Korea, and in particular, he contributed to confidentiality protection technology. Congratulations. And also, he developed a variety of security technology and increased the transparency of the technology. And take a photo together. Please give them a round of applause again. Congratulations. Please return to your seat. And for the next award, the Vice Minister, please stay on the stage for a while. Prize winners, please return to your seats. Next is a presidential citation. It goes to Nam Yong-gyu, Director of Korea Hydro and Nuclear Power. Lee Jong-ah, the CEO of Laon Secure. Presidential citation, Nam Yong-gyu, Director of KHNP. You have greatly contributed to development of a national society by improving cybersecurity. July 14, 2021, President of ROK, Moon Jae-in. Congratulations. Congratulations. So he worked at the KHMP, which is the major infrastructure, and he has contributed to development of the security technology. And today he got the honor of the presidential citation. Please give them a round of applause again. Thank you. And Lee Jung-ah, please come forward. Presidential citation. Lee Jung-ah, CEO of the Laon Secure. The wording is the same. Congratulations. And she was honored to have the presidential citation. The companies have made a lot of efforts to develop cybersecurity technology. For the last 1 year, her company, Laon Secure, has made efforts to develop the technology, and which is the foundation for the Korean technology as well. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. Prize winners, please go back to your seats. Next is the Prime Minister citation. The prize goes to Choi Kang-hee, Director of Korea Internet and Security Agency, and Kwon Sung-chul, Public Servant of Ministry of Economy and Finance, and other 2 people. Prime Minister citation, Choi Kang-hee, Director of KISA. You have greatly contributed to development of a national society by enhancing information security. July 14, 2021, Prime Minister Kim Boo-kyum. Congratulations. The KISA is a very important agency for cybersecurity in Korea. And the director of the KISA has the honor to receive this Prime Minister citation. Please give them a round of applause again. Thank you. And the next is the Prime Minister citation, Kwon Sung-chul, the public servant of the Ministry of Economy and Finance. The word is the same. Congratulations. And a lot of public servants also have made efforts to increase the cybersecurity in Korea. Kwon Sang-chul, the public servant of the Ministry of Economy and Finance, have the honor to receive this Prime Minister citation. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you. And next is the Prime Minister citation to government rather than person. The Gyeonggi Province government and also the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy. And first is the Gyeonggi Provincial government. The Prime Minister citation, the Gyeonggi Provincial government, the wording is the same. And the Vice Minister tied a ribbon for this citation. And please look forward. And the ribbon will be tied on the flag of the Gyeonggi Province, and then this ribbon with the honor, pride of the public servants in Gyeonggi Province. Please give a round of applause to all public servants of the Gyeonggi Provincial government. Thank you. And the next agency is the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy. Prime Minister citation, Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy. The word is the same. Congratulations. Of course, the Vice Minister tied a ribbon on the flag of the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy. And the public servants of the MTIE made a lot of efforts to develop the cybersecurity. So the central government agency also made efforts to develop the technology for cybersecurity. Please give all public servants of the ministry. Please give a round of applause to all public servants of the ministry. So now we take a group photo together. All prize winners come forward. Please come forward and take a group photo together. And the Jo Kyung-sik, the Vice Minister of Science and ICT, is joining this ceremony together. Congratulations again. So please chant a slogan again, "Fighting." Let's chant a slogan saying "Fighting" again. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. So we wrap up this prize-winning ceremony. And once again, thank you, Jo Kyung-sik, the Vice Minister, for participating in the award ceremony. So I will invite the prize winners to share their comments. First, Yoo Jun-sang, the President of KITRI, will share his comments. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Yoo Jun-sang, President of the KITRI. It's a great honor for me to have this Order of Merit. It's unexpected. I think that this Order of Merit is recognizing the efforts of my organizations, KITRI, and all members of the KITRI, and the people related in cybersecurity in Korea, not myself. So on this occasion, I'm really grateful to my all colleagues. And actually, if we so there is a proverb saying that we are analyzing or evaluating the person after his death. That means that actually I think that this Order of Merit is expressing that I will make more efforts to give back to the development of this cybersecurity. Thank you. Thank you. He thinks that the Order of Merit is the opportunity for him to make more efforts for the cybersecurity. So now, Nam Young-gyu will share his comments. Good afternoon. I'm Nam Young-gyu, Director of KHMP. It's a great honor for me to have this award, and I'm very humbled to receive this award. And I think that this award is recognizing the efforts of the KHMP led by the CEO and other colleagues who made a lot of efforts to develop the cybersecurity. It's a kind of the pattern or the encouragement for us to make more efforts. So KHMP is doing best in the future to provide the service to all people without any problems. On this occasion, I'm really grateful. I wanted to say my gratitude to my colleagues. Thank you. And the next is Lee Jung-ah, CEO of the Lawon Secure. Good afternoon. I'm Lee Jung-ah, CEO of the Lawon Secure. So in Korea, we are living in the era of the mobile driver sense and the mobile ID card and others. And Lawon Secure has made efforts to develop the cybersecurity. On behalf of all my members and my employees, I am here to receive the presidential citation. And Lawon Secure will lead the way for the digital era in Korea. Thank you. Thank you. And she said that she will do her best more. And now I want to introduce the prize winners of the Prime Minister citation. First, Choi Kwang-hee, Director of KISA. So many people suffer from the COVID-19, and the social distancing is forced in Korea. I think that to resolve this kind of the inconvenience, the cyber is the answer. I think that the cyber security is the final force to protect the cyber world. So on this occasion, I'm really grateful to my colleagues, and I think that this award is recognizing our efforts in terms of the cyber security. Now we are in the era of the untapped society, so the members of the KISA are very busy. So I think that this award is kind of the encouragement to them. And the Kwon Sung-chul, the public servant of the Ministry of Economy and Finance. And it's a great honor for me to be here at this award ceremony. And I think that this award is another motivation to me so that I can make more efforts to increase the cyber security. And I wanted to do my best for the cyber security management. Thank you. And there are some public servants in government agencies, like Kwon Sung-chul, the public servant of the Ministry of Economy and Finance. And now I wanted to invite one representative from each organizations having the Prime Minister citation. So at first, the Lee Mon-jong, the Gyeonggi Province. Good afternoon. The Gyeonggi Provincial Government is honored to receive the Prime Minister citation. The Gyeonggi Province is making effort to increase the cybersecurity for the fourth industrial revolution. Since 2016, Gyeonggi Province has nurtured the cybersecurity expert and support SMEs in cybersecurity field. And I think that today's award is recognizing our efforts for the cybersecurity development. In the future, we will do our best more. Thank you. So the Gyeonggi Province has made efforts for cybersecurity a lot. Congratulations. And Yoo Dong-hee, representative of the Ministry of Trade and Industry and Energy, will share her comments. Good afternoon. I'm Yoo Jong-hee. The Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy is honored to receive this prize. And until now, the ministry has made a lot of efforts for cybersecurity under the cooperation with the 40 agencies. In the future, we will do our best to protect cybersecurity for the people. Thank you. Yoo Dong-hee, the person of the Ministry of the Trade, Industry and Energy, share her comments. Thank you. Now I want to wrap up this prize awarding ceremony. Congratulations and thank you.
So how was it? It was held in Sejong City yesterday. I visited there yesterday. Minu said you changed your clothes. Anyway, I was there yesterday to celebrate the award ceremony. Mr. Cho, thank you for delivering the awards. So it was the award ceremony for Information Security Day. Many people are sending us congratulatory messages online. In this era, the information security's importance is getting bigger. So as a member of the public, I would like to thank all the related people in this industry for protecting the information. Commemorating the Information Security Day, I hope that all of you can take pride in making efforts to promote information security. We have to work together to realize the importance of information security. From 3:30 The International Conference on Information Security will start. Please continue your participation. So this ceremony will be ended here. Thank you.